Hi there, I'm Emily. Welcome to class. For this class today, you will want a block or something that resembles a block, maybe a stack of books or whatever you have nearby, a mat, and some comfy clothes. So once you're ready, just get settled on your mat, seated, grab your block or stack of books, and just sit up on them so that your sitting bones are elevated and higher than your knees here. You'll want to cross the legs. They can either be separate out on the earth or tucked underneath you, however is most comfortable and protects the knees. But hopefully having your seat lifted up a little bit will help, even if you have tighter hips. So in this class today, we're going to be working on breath and awareness. It's a Vinyasa flow class, and that is really working on connecting breath to movement. So the breath that we use, a technique is called Ujjayi breath. It also is called ocean breath because that's what it sounds like in the back of the throat. And just to get you familiar with how it sounds and how it feels, we're going to try it a few rounds. So it's going to be as if you were trying to fog up a mirror, or if you're trying to whisper your breath. So it can be done with the mouth open, the jaw soft, the tongue falling to the bottom of the mouth. Or it can be done with the mouth closed, but dismissing the nostrils. So it's almost as if the nostrils don't exist at all. You're just breathing right into the throat. So however you do this, we want to make sure that there's no tension in the face muscles and the jaw and the tongue. So especially as you're getting comfortable with this breath, feel free to use the open mouth breaths, and the exhales are always going to be easier than the inhales, so just work on those exhales for now. And return to a normal breath, especially if you feel like you're getting lightheaded or bringing in too much oxygen. Great, so we're going to get started just taking a moment to ground ourselves to get centered before class starts, before we get into the movement. So allow the hands to come to the thighs, palms face up, and just take a few rolls of the shoulders here, lifting them up towards the ears. And as you exhale, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and just do that a few times. Inhale, the ears up, the shoulders up by the ears, and exhale, the shoulder blades down. And one more time, inhale up, and exhale, draw those shoulders down the back. Hug the low ribs in. So we're going to feel the navel pull up towards the spine, the collarbones and the crown of the head extend up towards the ceiling. And then as you're ready and feel comfortable, allow the eyes to close here. We're just going to take a few moments to breathe, to practice that Ujjayi breath. So just give yourself a moment to take in your surroundings. So wherever you are, just notice the sounds inside the room, outside, the sound of your breath, any other sounds around you, even the temperature in the room. And then let's bring our awareness one step deeper. So just start to notice how your body's feeling. So notice the temperature of your body, even the clothes hanging off of your shoulders. And then ask yourself if you can let go anymore. Maybe starting with the face, allowing the face muscles to soften, the jaw to relax, the shoulders to drop down just a little bit more, the legs to release in this easy cross-legged pose. And then allow your breath to take over here. So not forcing it, not straining it. Perhaps using the Ujjayi if it feels comfortable. And just taking 3 deep breaths in and out at your own count, your own pace. Now bringing some movement into that breath. On your next inhale, start to extend the arms out to the sides, drawing them all the way up overhead. And as you exhale, the palms are going to meet and trace the hands down your midline towards your heart center. Inhale, extend the arms up. Make it slow and steady to reflect the breath. Exhale, palms meet and trace down again. The full exhale. One more time. Inhale, feeling the arms stretch. The fingers reach away and up overhead. And as you exhale, palms meet. And let's trace the hands down to the heart, pausing this time with the thumbs lightly touching the sternum. Bow the head towards the fingertips and reclose the eyes here if they opened. And give yourself another moment to just set an intention for your class today. So an intention is a purpose or a dedication to make your movement something greater than just physical, beyond just the exercise or the workout aspect of our yoga. So an intention can be something that you're working on within yourself, within your life, or just a focus to give your class. So maybe the breath is a good focus, just to breathe, to stay steady, to stay grounded and centered within yourself. So whatever your intention is, set it now. And with your next exhale, release the hands down towards the thighs and start to blink open the eyes here. On your next inhale, lengthen up through the spine, pull the navel up and back. And as you exhale, bring your left hand towards your right knee. The right fingertips are going to go gently behind your back, just touching the earth lightly. And with your inhale, again, lengthen up through the spine. As you exhale, pull the navel back and in as you twist gently towards the right, not yanking or straining. Inhale, change sides, face forward, and as you exhale, right hand to the left knee, left fingertips behind you, and again, breathe in, lengthen back up through the spine, through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, the navel's going to pull back and in, just helping facilitate a little bit of a deeper twist, but make sure you're not yanking from the neck or the shoulders. We're just slowly warming up the spine. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, bring the fingertips like tents behind you, and as you inhale, we're going to squeeze shoulders in towards each other and back. As you lift the chest, keep hugging the navel in towards the spine here. The chin stays parallel to the earth, and take a few breaths in this gentle back bend. Good, and then with your inhale, come back off of the back bend. And we're going to exhale, bring the hands to the earth, slide the block out from underneath you, or the books, or whatever you have to prop you up, and we're going to come into tabletop. So tabletop position, we're going to have the shoulders stacked right over the wrists, and the hips right over the knees, with the knees about hips width apart. On the inhale, just gently let the back release as you reach the chest forward and the sit bones up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, press into the palms, round the upper back, hug the navel towards spine, tucking your chin. Inhale, extending back out. Not a deep back bend here, just letting the belly drop as the chest and the sit bones lift. As you exhale, round out, tuck chin, hug navel. And one more flow here, so start to follow your breath. Start to get into the rhythm and the intuition of your breath. Inhaling, extending, exhaling, contracting. On your next inhale, flatten the back, coming into neutral tabletop. As you exhale, sit the hips back towards the heels here. You can spread the knees wide if that helps. And then extend the arms out in front of you, bringing the forehead to the mat here. And we're just going to take a few breaths in child's pose. This is our resting position. So you can always come back to this pose throughout class. Just allowing your body to relax completely. On your next inhale, walk the fingertips as far forward as you can so that the elbows are start to reach off the mat. And then draw the shoulders away from the ears, so you're almost trying to create as long of an arm on both sides as you can. And then with the inhale, start to lift the hips off the heels. As you exhale, tuck the toes under and bring your belly to your thighs, like you were gonna frog hop forward. And then from here, just start to lift the sit bones. Try to keep the back as long as possible. The heels may or may not reach the earth, and it doesn't quite matter. We want to focus on the length in the spine. And then hug the navel in, press down through the palms as you press the sit bones up towards the ceiling. And then take a few movements here, maybe bending one knee, stretching opposite heel to the earth, and then change sides. Do this a few times, just starting to lengthen the backs of the legs. Let the neck relax and be soft. The jaw is soft. Good, and then on your next inhale, we're gonna shift forward to plank pose. So shoulders stack above the wrists. As you exhale here, gently place the knees to the earth. We wanna keep the knees in line with the shoulders, one straight line. As you exhale, bend the elbows in towards your ribs, lowering yourself all the way down onto the earth. Tops of feet plant, elbows hug in. With your inhale, just lift the chest for a baby cobra. Squeeze shoulder blades and elbows in as you lift the heart forward. With your exhale, press into the palms, lifting up to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, and press back to downward facing dog. You can readjust your position if you need to. Spread the fingers wide and draw those shoulders back behind you, up towards the sitting bones, up towards the sky. And then on your inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, and take several steps up to the top of the mat, keeping the knees bent. We're gonna come to the top of the mat with the feet hips width apart. As you inhale, bring the hands to the shins. Find a flat back here, reaching the collarbones forward. As you exhale, fold back down, keep the knees bent gently. With your inhale, we're gonna come up to standing flat back, so the arms just go out to the sides as you lift the arms overhead. And with your exhale, draw the hands in towards the heart here. Good. Stay here just for a breath to re-catch the breath. And we're gonna do some half sun salutations next, really to get into the flow and the connection of breath to movement. So on the inhale, reach the arms up overhead, gaze up towards fingertips. As you exhale, fold forward. Keep the knees bent, arms reach out to the sides as you fold all the way down. Inhale again, hands go to the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, keep the knees bent. We're gonna rise up to standing, arms out to the sides, up overhead. And exhale, palms in towards the heart. Good, again, inhale, reach the arms out to the sides, all the way up. Try to keep the shoulders grounded. As you exhale, fold forward, knees soft. Hug navel to spine to support the low back. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms out and up. Exhale, palms to the heart. We're gonna do it one more time. Option to close the eyes, especially if you're feeling comfortable with this. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward, knees slightly bent, strong core. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Draw the shoulder blades back behind you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, palms into the heart. Good. Coming back to the top of the mat, if you're not there, inhale, reach the arms high. As you exhale, fold forward, arms out to the side, soft knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the shins. Exhale, plant the palms, step one foot back and then the other, downward facing dog. And then on your inhale, shift forward to plank pose, shoulders over wrists. Hug navel up towards the spine. As you exhale, knees to the earth. Elbows graze your ribs as you lower down to the earth. And then inhale for a baby cobra. Squeeze shoulder blades in. Press tops of the feet to the earth. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips as you press high. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. So spread the fingers wide. Draw the shoulder blades up the back towards the sitting bones. Spread the toes, reach heels towards the earth. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat, taking one or several steps up. Inhale, hands to the shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Rise to standing. Soft knees, press down into the earth as you lift the arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to come right back into fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back with the opposite foot this time, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming into plank pose. Exhale, knees lower, belly and chest to the ground at the same time. Inhale for your baby cobra. Good. Exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, extend the right heel to the sky. As you exhale, step through. Wherever this foot lands, pick it up and move it so the right knee stacks over the ankle here. Lengthen the spine forward as you inhale. As you exhale, place the left knee to the earth. You can roll over the left edge of the mat for more support. And then inhale, lift the arms overhead. Keep those shoulder blades grounded. Hug navel to spine, so try not to let the belly fall forward. We want to hug it in, protect the low back. With your next exhale, plant the palms. Unroll the mat as you step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel reaches high to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Again, wherever that foot lands, pick it up and move it so the knee stacks over the ankle here. Lengthen the spine, inhale. And exhale, lower right knee towards the earth. Inhale, arms reach. Press into this left leg to help you lift high. Good. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Hug navel in towards spine. Pull in the low ribs. So we're supported here rather than allowing ourselves to collapse in the low back. So we're wrapping the low ribs towards the spine, lifting through the crown of the head. And with your exhale, palms to the ground. Lift off your back knee. As you unroll the mat, we're going to step back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, this time you can take a modified chaturanga, bending the elbows 90 degrees, or just like we did in the past, lower yourself all the way down. If you're ready for more of a back bend, bring the hips towards the earth as you lift the chest. Keep the elbows bent here. And exhale, press into the palms, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Good. Take 3 big breaths. Coming back to your center, back to your intention. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, soft knees, rise to standing. Arms lift, gaze lifts. Exhale, palms into the heart. Good. From here, walk the feet together so the big toes are touching. We're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to bend the knees at a 90-degree angle and reach the arms up by the ears. Good. From here, bend your elbows just gently so that you feel those shoulders grounding away from the ears. And rather than having a deep arch in the back, we want to hug the navel in towards the spine as you reach the tailbone and the sitting bones to the earth. You should be able to see your toes over the knees. The weight is in the heels. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale, start to come off of your chair as you exhale, fold forward, soft knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. This time we're going to step to plank pose. So 1 foot back, then the other. Shoulders stack over wrists. As you exhale, option to bring the knees to the earth. Lower modified chaturanga. Otherwise, you can take full chaturanga here with the knees lifted, and then inhale, come up into a high cobra, lowering the knees to the earth. The shoulders draw down away from the ears. Lift through the chest. Keep elbows hugging in towards the sides of your body. And with your next exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths just to get grounded, to get centered. And please know that any of these vinyasa flows where we move from plank to that low push-up position and up into the back bend You're welcome to take full chaturanga and up dog if that's in your practice. On the inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Exhale, step through, right foot to right hand. Inhale, we're gonna come up to high lunge. So get grounded through the feet as you rise up on the inhale. Feet are wide across the mat like you are on two separate railroad tracks. Shoulders draw back, navel pulls in towards the spine. One more big inhale. Exhale, plant the palms. We're gonna pause here. Ground through the left hand as you inhale, reach the right arm up overhead for a gentle twist. Lengthen the spine on the inhale, and as you exhale again, just gently pull navel in towards the spine as you reach the chest towards the sky. Want to make sure this thigh is pulling in, hugging in towards your chest. And with your exhale, gently place the right palm, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg is going to reach high. Exhale, step through. Good, again, imagine you had two railroad tracks. You want the feet wide across with the inhale. Rise high lunge. Left knee is stacked directly over the ankle. We want to avoid this position to protect the knee. Inner thighs hug and squeeze in towards each other. Hips are squared off. Navel pulls into the spine. We shouldn't feel any crunching in the low back. If you're still sensitive in the low back, bend your right knee, this leg behind you, just a few inches to get that tailbone to reach towards the earth. On your next exhale, place the palms, framing that front foot. Keep the right hand grounded as you inhale, lift the left arm to the sky. Exhale, coming into the twist. Lengthen the spine just a little bit more. Exhale, navel hugs in. Left thigh hugs in towards your chest. And with your exhale, left palm plants, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll into plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga or modified chaturanga, or all the way to the earth. And then inhale, coming into your back bend, maybe low, medium, or high cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. On the inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walk the feet together so the big toes are touching. As you inhale, bend the knees 90 degrees. Reach the arms up over the head, chair pose a second time. Navel pulls in, weights in the heels. Maybe bend your elbows, especially if you feel like the shoulders are hunching up, to draw them down the spine. On your next inhale, rise up, gaze up, and exhale, palms in towards the heart. Good, separate the feet hips width distance. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold forward, soft knees. Good, inhale, halfway lift, so find that length again in the spine. And as you exhale, grab opposite elbows, bend the knees deeply, and just let yourself hang here. And gently shake the head out, yes and no. Good, on the inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog, one foot then the other. As you inhale, the right leg reaches high. Exhale, step it through, right foot to right hand, rise up, high lunge. So feet are wide, true train tracks, two railroad tracks as the arms lift overhead. Good. So pause here just for a breath. I'm going to change directions so you can see the transition into this next pose. As you exhale, we're going to bring the left heel down to the earth so the foot's parallel to the back edge of the mat. We're going to keep this right knee tracking straight forward as if this hip and this side of the body didn't move at all. And then come into warrior two, extending the arms out in opposite directions. The chest, the hips, and the shoulders are all facing straight towards the side wall. The arms are extended. We want to make sure that we avoid the front knee from angling in. So wrap the inner thigh up towards the sky, direct that front knee over your second toes. Good, gaze over your right fingertips and just take a few breaths here. So we have a nice lunge in this front leg. The left leg is extended straight with the outer edge of that foot pressing into the earth. The spine is long, tall, straight. The navel pulls in towards the spine to protect the low back. Good. So if you were just looking at me from the hips up, hopefully I would just look like I was standing here rather than angling one direction, forward, back, or side to side. We want to be nice and straight. Sometimes coming in and out of this neutral position can help us find it. Good. So once you're there, take another big breath in. Big breath out. On your next inhale, straighten this front leg so the right leg straightens. The left toes pivot from a 90-degree angle to a 45-degree angle, reaching towards the upper left-hand corner of the mat. We're going to come into triangle. So as you inhale, reach up and out with the right arm. Send the hips back behind you. Get as long as you can, as if you were reaching for somebody's arm, hand. And as you exhale, just windmill the hands so the right leg, right hand meets the leg, left arm up towards the sky. Nice long spine here. And as you exhale, navel pulls in. Good. So if this is too much on the front leg or front knee, grab your block. Place the block on the inside of that front foot, hand to block, left arm up towards the sky. This will help you find more length in the right side of the body, especially if the back of this right thigh is a little bit tighter. Good. From here, with your next inhale, we're going to rise back up to warrior two. So start to bend the front knee, lift the head, the torso, the chest to warrior two. Good. From here, we're going to bring the hands to the earth, set the block off to the side as you spin off your back heel, and step downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Exhale, step through, left foot to left hand. Good. Rise up, high lunge on your inhale. And again, get nice and grounded, feet on two separate train tracks. Again, I'm going to turn around so you can see me transition on this side. With your exhale, spin the back heel down. Try to keep this left knee facing straight forward. So now the right foot's parallel to the back edge of the mat. And you'll see this front heel dissecting the arch of your back foot. Extend the arms out, face torso, chest towards your right side wall. Good. And again, just check your alignment. So front knee, you want to avoid the curving in or splaying out. Wrap inner thigh up towards the sky. Knee tracks over second toe. You should just be able to see your big toe on the inside of that knee. Come back to your breath. Good, and then from here, we're going to transition to triangle on this side, Trikonasana. So as you inhale, straighten the left leg, pivot your back toes to face the upper right-hand corner of the mat. As you inhale, send the hips back, extend up and out with that left arm as if you were reaching for somebody's arm, and then just pivot the hands. So the right arm's to the sky, left hand straight down to the earth. If you need to come out to grab your block, you can come out. Just try to come back into the position, maybe the same way. Placing left hand on block if you're using it, right arm up to the sky. Try to stack shoulders. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, navel gently pulls in. You're almost feeling this wrapping open of the heart to the sky. You can release your gaze towards your left foot if the neck is bothering you or straining. Otherwise, maybe look straight ahead or up towards the sky. Good. Next inhale, start to lunge in that front leg, rising up to warrior two. As you exhale, palms to the earth, remove the block, spin off your back heel as you step downward facing dog. And then inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga or all the way to the earth. Inhale into your back bend, whatever height feels right, supported from the core. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths here. Notice any heat that's being built in the body. Notice your heart rate. Shake out the head. Big open mouth exhale. And then inhale, bend the knees. Lower to the ground as you sit hips to heels. Extend the arms wide, bringing the floor or straight out in front of you, bringing the forehead to the mat. Rest in child's pose for 3 more breaths. You can let the shoulders and the arms relax on the earth. If you need more space to breathe, spread the knees wide. Just let your belly and chest fall through. On your next inhale, lift the head, walk the hands up towards the knees. And we're just going to sit to one side as you bring your legs out in front. Good. So extend the legs out. You want the heels slightly separated, and you want to feel like you're propped up on the sit bones. If you need a little bit of an extra boost, you can roll over the back edge of the mat, maybe even grab a blanket or a bolster to sit on. And we want to drag the sitting bones just off the edge so that you feel like the pelvis is being tilted forward. Because coming into a forward fold with the pelvis back is going to be really hard. We're going to be straining from the upper back and the spine. So instead, we want to feel the pelvis tilt forward, nice and tall, and then what we fold from is the hips rather than yanking from some part of the spine, yeah? So we're going to start with the hands by your side just to feel that length, to feel the pelvis starting to tilt forward. If you need to, bend the knees gently, especially if your hamstrings are tight, and just take a few breaths here. Good, so you may already be feeling this opening in the backs of the legs, and that's awesome. That's what we want. On your inhale, extend the arms up overhead. As you exhale, again, try to hinge from the hips. This may not be your deepest fold. Bring the palms to the earth, legs or feet when you feel like you're in a deep fold without rounding the back. So draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Reach the chest over the toes as if you could create more space in the front of the body and the torso. Flex your toes towards your face as if you were reaching the heels towards the wall in front of you. This is not the sit and reach contest. So we're not judging ourselves based on how far down we can go. Just breathe and pause where you feel that opening. Where you feel that space and that breath being generated in the back of the body, the backs of the legs. The openness of the chest here, rather than caving ourselves off, closing ourselves off. We want to stay open. Good. For the last breath, let the chin tuck towards the chest, the upper back round, and just the arms fall soft. And then inhale, come back up to seated. Bring the hands by your sides. Bend the knees, scoot off of your bolster or roll and unroll the mat or remove the blanket. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So if you want a little bit of core work for this descent, this coming down onto the ground, hug the navel in towards the spine, lift the chest here, hold the backs of the thighs. If you have any sensitivity in the low back, I encourage you to maybe skip this or try it out and then stop if it's collapsing into the low back at all. So the first level is going to be here with a slight angle in the spine. So you're going to feel the navel pull in and the core engage. The chest is going to stay lifted and open. Stay here if this is enough for you. Otherwise, maybe lift the feet 90 degrees. Good. If you want to go even further and it doesn't bother the low back, maybe extend the arms out in front of you. We're going to hold 3 more breaths wherever you are. So don't forget to breathe. Big inhale, big exhale. Good. Big inhale, big exhale. 1 more here. You got this. Good. Plant the feet, grab the backs of the thighs again, and inhale, lift the chest, squeeze shoulders in towards each other. As you exhale, round the upper back, tuck the chin. Inhale again, pull the heart through the arms, lifting the chest up and forward, and exhale, round the back. 1 more time, inhale, reach up with the chest. Exhale, we're going to make our way back You can either support yourself with the hands and the forearms, otherwise keep a hold of the backs of the thighs and roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Once you're on the mat, relax the head, the shoulders, and walk the feet in. We want the heels just close enough to be able to touch lightly with the fingertips. The knees are hips width apart. Bring the low back to the mat, hugging navel to spine, and you'll feel the tailbone start to lift. Press the palms into the ground. Peel your spine off the mat as you press into the feet. Keep the glute muscles soft, but you will feel the legs working with the feet pressing into the earth. Stay here if this is enough for you. If you're feeling it in the knees, maybe lower down a little bit. If you're feeling it in the low back, we're going to lower the hips, re-scoop the tailbone towards the sky, and maybe lift another inch to a point where you're no longer feeling that compression in the low back. If you want to go even further, walk the shoulders underneath, interlace the hands, and then press the feet into the earth, puff the chest up towards the chin. And we're going to hold for 3 breaths at whatever level you're in right now. Good. If your hands are interlaced, walk the shoulders out, unhook the fingers, and plant the palms to the earth. As you exhale, we're going to roll ourselves down one vertebrae at a time, slowly, steadily. Once the hips are down, bring the feet wide and just let the knees touch together. So feet are as wide as the mat, knees are touching in the center, and then just bring your hands to your torso, to your belly, to your chest. Close the eyes here. Come back to your breath. Maybe acknowledge the intention that you set at the beginning of class, how that has served you in your practice. Good. And then release the hands to the mat. Walk the feet in. We're going to wrap the left leg up and over the right, just like you were crossing your legs as if you were seated and crossing the legs. We're going to lift up and over, so the right hip is going to come onto the earth as the knees lower to the ground to the right side. Good. Gaze over your left shoulder. You can either bend at the elbows, you're looking away from the knees, and we want to catch the earth with the feet so that you feel relaxed here. If this is too much on the knees, grab your block. Again, wrap left leg up and over, lower the knees to the right side, and maybe get that block to support the legs, especially to protect the knees or just to help you feel more relaxed. We want to completely let go here. So we're starting to cool down the body, cool down the breath, slow the heart rate. So come back into that steady ujjayi. On your inhale, lift the legs off of the earth or the block. Come onto your spine. Unwrap the legs, scoot yourself back to center. If you are using the block, switch sides. And then we're going to wrap right leg up and over left. Press into the left foot as you lift the hips up and over. So you're going to come onto the left side, lowering the knees down to the left as well. Grab your block if you're using it. Otherwise, just catch the earth with that top leg, the wrapped leg. At a comfortable point, you can feel like you can really relax and melt into this pose. So the right shoulder is drawing down to the earth. Don't force it or strain it. Close the eyes as you gaze, as your gaze faces the right, away from the twist. And just let yourself relax here. Feel your belly breathing in, the diaphragm expanding with the breath. So as we start to cool down, just connect back to your body. Notice the rhythms, those subtle rhythms that are set by the breath, by the heart rate. Give yourself over to the body. Give yourself over to the earth. With your next inhale, just gently lift the legs. Unwrap, center yourself out on the mat, and then set up for Shavasana. Extend the legs wide. This is our final pose. Feet are as wide as the mat, arms by the sides, palms face up. Remove any blocks or anything that's in your way. Walk one shoulder blade under you, then the other. Rock the hips, wiggle ankles, toes, wrists. And then take a big breath in through the nose. Big open mouth, exhale out. Find stillness, one more big breath in. Let everything go with this exhale. The eyes are closed. The body is relaxed. No need to control the breath or the body. Just let yourself surrender to this pose. This is the time that we give our body to rest, to realign, to soften. Come back to center. Imagine as if you are floating on top of a really salty body of water. There's no effort to keep you afloat. You're just slowly floating along, the sun shining down on you, the breeze slowly washing over you. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be except right here. Give yourself this time, this moment of silence, this moment of peace. If you have more time in your day, feel free to stay here for a few more minutes, or even longer if you feel called to do so. Otherwise, if you're getting back up and out into your day, start to deepen the breath here. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, bringing gentle movement into the body. With your next inhale, stretch the arms high overhead. Extend out through the legs. And then with your exhale, hug the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze and roll to the right side. Support your head with your hands. Keep your eyes closed here. Your gaze and your focus still inward. So we're in this subtle, this gentle feel position. Take 3 deep breaths here. And then with your next inhale, gently press the palms to the earth. Keep the head and the neck soft as you rise up to seated. We're going to make our way back to a cross-legged position like we started. Opposite leg on top, so non-dominant way. Grab your block if you need that little boost, and that will help make you feel more comfortable here. And then place the hands to the knees, palms face up. Reclose the eyes if they open. And just come back into breath, come back into a state of awareness, of observation of the body. Just noticing how you're feeling after class. And then bringing the palms together at the center of the chest, bow the head towards the fingertips. Take a final breath here. And thank you so much for joining me. All of the light, all of the goodness within me honors all of that same light, that same goodness that's within you. Namaste.